This brief tutorial will walk you through editing text in InDesign for the Michigan Open Book Project's digital source file release. Before we get started, here are the materials that you'll need. If you'll be working with a PC or a Mac, you will need Adobe InDesign and some photo editing tools such as Snagit. Please note there is a separate tutorial that describes how to edit the materials in iBooks Author. We begin this tutorial with a general reminder. Some materials were left out of the source file release. This happened if permission was not granted for their inclusion there. These materials are marked with a blue Michigan Open Book Project box, and you will need to either delete them or add your own pictures there. Also, remember not to remove the authorship pages, but please feel free to expand upon them and add your own biography to the mix. And finally, but perhaps most importantly, remember that it is illegal to place copyrighted materials within your own version of the book. This includes things like reproducibles from a textbook series. Refer back to the copyright course in EduPaths for more information on where to find materials licensed for use and reuse. To edit the materials in InDesign, you'll need to follow these 3 steps. First, open your source file in InDesign, make your edits, additions, updates, etc., and then finally export your book somewhere where students can download them. Please note there is a longer tutorial on how to export with the various options found in a separate video. Step 1. Opening the source files in Adobe InDesign. Once you have successfully downloaded the source files for the book that you want to work on, you can open up the folder and you're going to find a whole bunch of files in there. In creating the Michigan Open Book Project materials for InDesign, in order to create a table of contents, we did each chapter section as its own separate file. But for right now, don't worry about any of those. Look for the one that's listed as an INDB file. This means it's an InDesign book. Double-click on that and InDesign should open. Please note you can also open it directly from Adobe InDesign. You will now have a list that has all of the MIOBP files that are associated with this particular resource. You'll also notice that you have a bunch of these yellow warning triangles. We were unable to include every single file that we used to create the books, so in these cases this means something is missing. However, your book will still export just fine without the inclusion of those files. Step 2. Making your edits. Next, you'll want to navigate to the chapter and section that you wish to make some edits for. Double-click on it, and it's open. If you've done your edits in Microsoft Word, you can copy and paste everything directly into this new file. However, you'll have to work on spacing and formatting before you're done with a specific section. Things like bold text for definitions do not automatically carry over. If you want to replace image files, you can delete the image file that's currently in place and add a new one. You can do this by using the File, Place command. If it's an image file from your desktop, you can also drag and drop it into the book. If you want to change the link on any of our widgets, you're going to click once on the widget that you wish to change, right-click, choose Hyperlink, and edit Hyperlink. This will allow you to replace the embedded widget with a new website address. Because the digital functionality does not live directly in the Adobe InDesign files like it does with iBooks Author, you will need to link to other websites in order to include a specialty widget that you may have created on your own using something like Tumult Hype. Step 3. Exporting your final product. Once you've finished making your edits, you're going to go to File, Save, and repeat the process with any additional sections that you want to change. Once you've finished making all of your desired changes, you will click on the little drop-down tab to save the book. And finally, to export it. Please note there is a separate tutorial on exporting.